Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I am James and we got a special video for you today. We got a lot of cool stuff to check out. We're going to show you behind the scenes of Blue Dog Aquatics and some of the things we've accumulated over the year. So without further ado, let's check it out. Alright guys, we're inside now. As you guys remember, our last video, we set up the 12-gallon bookshelf tank with the skeleton in it. We still got a couple more weeks before we can put shrimp in it, but we'll keep you posted on that. Now, something that's near and dear to my heart was a snake that actually came to me about a year ago. She's a green tree python, about 4.5 foot length now. Her name's Maleficent. I like the movie, so, and she's kind of evil and has taken a couple bites out of me, so the name's very fitting for her. Now, when Maleficent came to me, she was in a 55-gallon tank, and there was no amenities. There was no height, no moisture, no fogger, nothing that suits a green tree python. And she was very stressed and very underweight. And so, pretty much the same day that she came to me, we put her in this. We actually went out to the store. This is a 220 that has a bad seal on it. So we're like, well, for the time being, you know, we'll set up this tank. And so we got the substrate in here, and we got some live plants, we got the logs for height, but it still wasn't enough for me. It didn't have the height. And so I'm sure you guys have seen on Facebook, we at Blue Dog Aquatics, we just built her a new enclosure, and this will be her forever home. She'll grow to be about 8 feet when she's full grown. So let's go check it out. Oh, and Bubba makes an appearance. This is Bubba. He's my service dog. He's a purebred German Shepherd, and he's such a good boy. He just likes being lazy. He follows me all around the house. So, we'll check this out here. And here's her new setup. Everything you see in here is custom carved, custom put in. The water feature, we hand carved that out of foam. She has foggers, dual lights. She actually has a big floodlight up here, all the branches and even the fountain, and she absolutely loves it. So I can't wait to see her many more years, and we'll show you as maybe one night we'll show you late at night when she likes to move around, and we'll get some video of that, and we'll show you how much she likes to scavenger around. This tank right here, it's essentially a 220 turned on its side. Since there are boreal snakes, they like to be high, they like to have that nice humid, especially since they're from New Guinea and New Zealand. They love to be up in their trees, and they'll actually strike birds or prey or whatever from the tops of the trees, which is awesome. But we'll show you guys some videos maybe one night late when she likes to be adventurous and move around a lot. Now you guys know Jimmy. Jimmy's not a huge fan of Maleficent being this close to him. You know what? For a while he had all the distance in the world. He's like, you stay over there, I'll be over here. But now they're next door neighbors, and he just keeps giving me this look. So, alright, as you guys remember from a couple of videos ago, this is our 40-gallon show tank. It has our fancy RTs in it. If you don't remember and didn't see the video, make sure to check out the hyperlink up here that we'll put in for you, and check that out. Now, we're going to move this way. Now, as you can see, on top of the old snake enclosure, we have a bunch of new enclosures. Now, these enclosures include dart frogs, and we have a hottie tarantula, we have a white wolf spider, we have an ornamental baboon, and don't worry, we'll stick all the scientific names down in the link below. And then, oh my word, this one does not have the name tag. Oh, yes it does. Look at that. It's just on the side. It's a Machala. And he's hiding because he's really small. Now, a couple of the cool ones over here. This is actually a Simani. This is also known as a striped knee. It came to me, it was in really bad shape, and so just tiniest butt, and so we're trying to get it back up to health. I actually think that it's getting ready to shed really soon, which is positive because that means that it's starting to get its health back. And now another one too that came to us in bad shape that's really doing well is the Honduran curly hair. Now this one actually has a little peephole. We can't see through the other side because she closed it all off, but she is getting ready to molt. But she's doing really well. Now, a relative to her is the Mexican curly hair. Now we'll rotate it because he likes to hide back there. You see him? Oh, yep, he thinks we got more food for him. All right, we'll set him back down. Now I also showed you guys, we have a BioCube, but this one isn't my typical setup. This is actually a saltwater. We converted it. We had some flagfish in there originally with the freshwater, and those flagfish went to town and literally killed everything, plants and animals alike in it. So they got put in timeout down in a 75. And we converted it to a saltwater. We just actually added the cleanup crew with it. We're gonna start adding some clownfish and anemones and stuff like that probably here in the next couple of weeks. Now another girl that's in the process of molting is Rio. Now I did post a picture of Rio up on my shoulder. She's a little rough right now just because she is shedding, but she does love the attention. She's trying to move around and get in a good line of sight for her. But Rio is a veiled chameleon. She's maybe a year old, so they get about 9 to 13 inches when they're full grown. So we'll hopefully see her get nice and big. Now, you want to see a cool trick? Now we're gonna go move to the basement and show you everything else. So here's my cool trick. Are you ready? Look at this. We're in the basement. All right. First tank we're gonna talk about behind the scenes is this is a 75. It has my guppies. I used to have my guppies all separated in the high ends, and they just were in a seller's market, and honestly they kept eating each other. So I got mad at them and threw them all in a 75 together, and I'm like, well, if you're gonna kill each other, at least do it in style. So we'll switch over here. We have everything from white tuxedos, the fantails, the cobras, the blacktails, the blue cobras, purple tails, everything, and now they're gonna all mix together. This is one of my quarantine tanks normally, but I needed some room, and you'll understand that in a minute. Now this tank right here is another 75. It's actually a quarantine tank as well, but you remember the flagfish I told you about that are in timeout? Well, guess what? They're in timeout. They're down here by themselves. Now there actually are self-cloners in here. I don't know if, well, look, there's one right there back on the filter. He's just doing his own thing. Well, can't say he, because it's not really a he, it's an it. So, self-cloners are asexual, so they don't need a mate to reproduce, but they do have territory issues. So, if you get too many of them together, they'll just go cannibal and eat each other. So, moving this way a little bit, I know there's a whole bunch of little stuff because we've been doing a whole lot of maintenance. Now this is a bow front tank. This is a 46 bow. I think I'm going to set it up as a, oh, what's the word? A Pandarian?
Paludarium.
Paludarium. And it's going to have really cool dart frogs. But that's another project, and so stay tuned for that. Now, we have this tank in here that's in, I know it's weird, it's in the bathroom, but it's actually a 60 tall. It doesn't have anything. I really don't have a plan for it right now, and so we're drop a comment down below to see if you have some ideas of what we should do with it. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to our Facebook page and our YouTube. We also have an Instagram at Blue Dog Aquatics. Also, check out our shrimp at www.bluedogaquatics.org. Speaking of those guys, let's go check them out. Now we're gonna let the camera go ahead of us, and because when I built this, it's just too small. Make sure when you're building something that your fat self can get in there, because it is a tight squeeze. And I'm kind of hiding the view behind it because we got a special project in store on the other side of the fish room. Now, before we get into the shrimp, look up here. We have, this is my sticker wall. If you got cool stickers and you want us to throw them up on the wall and show us a YouTube video with it, send us a link and a message, and we'll make sure that you have an address to send those stickers to, and we'll add them to our wall. Now, let's get into it. Now, we have numbers that are really low right now. We do have a big order coming in because guess what? We got Aquashella coming in. Man, it is fast approaching. This guys, so that's a quick glimpse at one of the racks of some of the shrimp. If you want to know more about it, shoot me a message or stay tuned to future videos, because with Aquashella coming up, like I promised, we're going to go through each tank and kind of show you some husbandry of how to take care of these shrimp. That way, if you are down at Aquashella Orlando, you'll be able to know how to prep and set up a tank and take care of these little guys. Now, we're going to move over here to a little bit of, I know it's kind of controlled chaos, but one of the awesome things is this board right here. I know it's bare because we just redid it, but we have it broke down as to what the TDS, pH, GH, KH, temp, and when the water changes are all done of each individual tank and each shrimp species. So it's a great way if you have lots of, I mean, that whiteboard was one of my best purchases. That saves so much headache, especially with the fish room right here. It's just really convenient. Now, behind me, way back here, this is a 265 gallon IBC with a hydro RODI system. That hydro RODI system puts out 300 gallons of water a day. So at a 265, this is what we take care of for our water changes. Now, one thing I will say with water changes, you can't just use straight RO. You do need to replenish it if your parameter levels are getting too low. But that is for each different species, so make sure you do your research. Moving forward, this is my skeleton pond. It has my catfish in it. And we can actually shut this down, slow it down so we can take a peek at them. We got the pumps now. Let's see if we can find where is the catfish. Oh, there's the red tail right there. And there is, we call him Momo. He's a lot bigger in person. And then in the back over here, we actually have the electric blue Texan. Which is weird because it's the first time I've actually seen him out. Normally he's hiding. Now, we have the net on here because unfortunately we had a jumper. And the jumper was the big biture that was in here. If you remember Zach's video from SC Fish Keeping, he showed the biture was in there. Well, unfortunately, when we weren't here, he jumped and unfortunately passed away. So, the very next day, net went on. So, now, we got a special treat for you. Alright, so right to my left here is something I've been working on. We actually, if you remember, there used to be 4 racks here. Actually, I could be standing right on one. But, now there's only 2. So right now we're doing a big project over here. You can see some racks are being built. Stay tuned to future videos to see the finished product. Trust me, it's going to be exciting. Now remember, like and subscribe. Check us out at Facebook and Instagram at Blue Dog Aquatics. Also, check our website out at www.bluedogaquatics.org. And the big question, as always, your tank or mine?